Okay, so we left off by talking about, well, by finishing the first side of that lesson plan for this second grader. Now she's starting way at the beginning with short A. When in doubt, start at the beginning. It is totally fine to do it that way. It's totally fine to carve over everything, and that way your student has a strong foundation, because it's possible that no one has taught them using the structured literacy approach before. All right, so I'm not going to review the first side anymore. Let's skip to the second side of the lesson. Now, if I'm working with my student in person, which I happen to be doing right now, my go-to is Wilson Magnets. And the reason I like these, and many of my students do too, the reason I like these is because it's sort of like an extension from the phonemic awareness activity, where they're changing, adding, deleting, manipulating one phoneme at a time, but this time they have the print with it. So just a reminder, if you haven't seen Wilson Magnets, they're little letter tiles like this, but the vowels are pink, so you can see the pattern. They match the flashcards. These are so simple and yet so powerful. You can also buy little blue and red magnets where I'm trying to do bubble letters here. I don't know why I'm doing it this way, but you can buy little magnets like that, and the vowel would be in red and the consonants in blue. That has the same effect. Those are cheaper. You can get them on Amazon too. Okay, so I would likely do something with Wilson Magnets, like I've got, and it would focus on the short A. So I would have them spell map. Then I would have her change map to tap, tap to tag, tag to bag, bag to bat. Now, this is not super challenging because I haven't changed the vowel. When I add a second vowel to the mix on a future lesson, then this activity will be more, kind of more beneficial practice-wise, because she'll really be flexing the vowel, which is the weak spot for her. Her consonant knowledge was fine, but it was the vowel piece that was the issue. But that's okay. On day one, I'm happy to do something that she can be really successful with. And if this felt beneath her, I would just say, oh, you know me, I'm the teacher. I just like to make sure everything is perfect down at the beginning. And we are going to climb up that mountain step by step, taking you to the areas where you can be challenged. Some of our students, this second grader, I think will be willing and totally fine to come down with me to short A. But some of our older students, third, fourth, fifth graders, if they're a little savvier, even if they're super impaired, they get awkward when they see us go down to this low stuff. Okay, so that was Wilson Magnets. If you're working online, you're going to want to find some digital tools that can have the same effect. So let me show you how I might take you there. Actually, I'm going to, so it's the Universe UFL. Okay, so what I'm going to have you Google is UFL instructional activities. Let me see if I can do that without UFL in oh my goodness, instructional activities. There we go. University of Florida has come up with some really amazing things. So it should come up as a link here. Okay. So I'm in the instructional activities zone. I guess the virtual, if I wanted to go back to where all their materials start. Oh, you have to like sign in and all that business. But once you do that, it takes you to this whole resource hub. So I recommend going to decoding and encoding. This is going to be like a digital magnet. Let's do word work. Is this what I wanted? Yes. So I clicked on word work and now I'm taken to this blending board. This is not the same colors as the Wilson Magnets, the pink and yellow, but this will do. Okay, so continue with Google. Oh my goodness, excuse me, I'm just signing in. If you can, I don't know if it showed up on your side. Yep. Okay, so there is a way to change what you've got here. These three little lines in the corner this is going to work for today, but if I needed to change what kind of magnets are out for her, I could just click on the ones I wanted. But since we're starting basic, I'm just going to keep it like that. Now, I'm not even going to use those other vowels today. So technically, I could take them off if I wanted. I'll do that. There we go. So the blue magnets are the ones that are going to come at the beginning of the word, and there's my vowel, and then there's my final sound. So I don't love it the way it's set up. If you're in a school that teaches Foundations or Wilson, and if anybody in your school has the manual, there's a code inside that manual that will get you onto the Wilson virtual teaching hub, which is superior. But assuming you don't have that, this is free. So you could say, spell the word map. And she would have mouse control. You'd have to give her mouse control. Good. You could say change map to tap. App. She'd have to know that we changed the first sound. So she'd go to this first sound area, tap. Change tap to tag. Tag. Oh, we changed the end of the word. So there it goes. Not bad, not bad. If I wanted, again, it's not my favorite thing, but let me see if I can quickly show you the Wilson thing. I own one of the Wilson programs, so I'm just signing in here. And I'm already set up here. I've already used my password to get me set up. So I think if it goes to remote instruction, oh my goodness, my intervention home, where is it? My resources, would it be that? Let me pause this because this is, okay, sorry, that was a little tricky for me to figure out and I didn't want to keep making you look at it. Turns out you just click on this icon right here. So if you're somebody who has, anybody in your building who has access to Wilson Foundations, Wilson Just Words, see if you can use the code from their manual to set up an account. And you're going to click on this icon and okay, this goes with a particular program. I'll just start with Unit 1 here. Sure. Build words, that would be my magnets. And this is really cool because you basically get to have the student do the magnets online. So there we go. So if again, I wanted her to do map. Oh, you have to drag it. Okay, if I said change map to tap, she could just take a card and put it right on top. Change tap to tag. We could replace the cards, but you can also just go like that, and so on and so on. So that is a pretty standard activity to do for step 6. You could also do some sort of little game here. I tend to make it about encoding because we would have just taught a new lesson. We would have read some words, read some sentences. We're about to do the spelling, so it makes sense to do a little like hands-on spelling fun before we actually do the writing together. You know what I mean? But this could also be a reading activity and you could just change that word if you wanted to switch something else in. So for spelling, I'm always going to quiz the sound of the day, which in this case was ah. I'll do some review sounds. She doesn't have many. I'm just going to put some consonants on there, etc. Now for words, I'm going to do both a mix of new and review, but she only has one vowel, so they're all going to be short A. Tag, pat, step, gab. Get the idea. You can write a few of those. And then sentences, I just have a line for one here. Did you, I shouldn't have done, I'll do gab here. Did you gab with my dad? So I do have some sight words in there and some short A focus words. Now, it's up to you. Once you get to know your student, you'll realize how many words is appropriate for each lesson. So right now I'm just kind of guessing on our first day what I want to do. Rat. Okay. Now the last thing, excuse the dog barking, the last thing you're going to look for is a story with short A in it. So because you're working remote, because you're might not be in a school with all the ideal resources, let me show you a good place to find these. I'm going to go back to the internet. Spire, if you do Spire COVID-19 free books, this, here it is. And you know what, I have to say, the link that gets me there every time is this random school district right here. So I'm just going to click on that, Hamilton County Schools. Download these all immediately because they are going to go away. They are not going to be there for much longer. So I already have them on my computer, but I'm just going to show you what to download. Hopefully they're still there. Okay, don't mind this. That's Hamilton. Okay, this is going to take us to the link. Permission. Okay. Oh. Reproduce. Yeah, it looks like we've got till February 8th, 2021. Okay, I agree. So we're running out of time here. What I would say the number one thing to download are the student readers. And I would download all of them. And then you'll have these PDFs on your computer to reference no matter what student you work with. Okay. Something fun that you could use while they're still available is the actual ebooks. These look more, these are more fun because they look, you could download these too. I guess I didn't because the files, I just didn't need them. But this would be something that your school might own in hard copy, but if it doesn't, then you've got this here. So here we have it, our story. Now Spire starts right away with short I and short A. So that's not the ideal selection because we just did a short A lesson, but there we have our story. If I had used one of the student readers, and I'm going to pick a student reader for today. Whew, this is a big file, 114 pages. So the scope and sequence will help me. Okay, here we go. We have our whole short A section. Pam's bag, at bat, the ant, the cat, Al's pal. So I've got a bunch of stories to pick from there. And then look at that, the pig and the ant, the one that we saw in book form, is also going to be available just in like on a Blackline master as well. So let's just get scoot, scoot, scoot. They have a word list. I don't need that. Oh, but this could be really helpful to you while you write your word lists. Okay, so you can see the different stories. This is super short, probably beneath my student, but it would be fine to work on for fluency and automaticity. Okay, so we have another short A story. Another short A story, except this one has a lot of "and" in it. And if I didn't teach "and," "and" yet, that might be hard. This one has short A, but it also has "and." I think that might have been the last one. Oh, here's the last one. Again, this one has "and." A lot of companies don't pay attention to how "and" and "and" can be funny. All right, so that's basically it. You're going to write, I could write, Spire. I don't remember the story, but let's pretend I was choosing the story, the cat. I could write highlight short A. We could do that in person, or she could mark it up on the screen. Highlight short A. What else? I could have pulled out those words ahead of time and had them on flashcards for her to read, the short A words or something like that. And there's not a lot of comprehension happening in the story that slim. And so I'm not worrying about this quite yet. Also, in the first few lessons, sometimes I just ask the bare bones questions because really what I care about is automaticity with reading, because that's why she's here. All right, so I think it will be a good idea for me to continue on and show you the next few lessons that I plan for this child, so you can see how the whole process goes from the assessment right through those first few lessons.